YMCA Youth Quest program is an employment program, and it's geared toward youth between the ages of 15 and 30. And what the program really gears to do is provide youth with life skills, employment skills, and really the support and the confidence that they need to enter the workplace and become employed in the community. The job market out there is just so tough for youth right now, and I remember reading a report saying that the unemployment rate for youth in Canada is 17%. Now, if you couple that with the barriers these youth are facing, the challenging job market, the lack of jobs that are available for youth who may not have education or may not have very strong literacy skills, it's really understandable why at-risk youth are not finding the jobs in our community, and why programs like YMCA Youth Quest is so important. On any given rollout, we have 200 applicants for 10 spaces for our Youth Quest program. So we do have 3 rollouts per project and hundreds of applications that would come through our program per year for these spots. So it's really overwhelming, for sure. Youth are able to engage with program staff, learn things like resume skills, interview skills. They learn conflict resolution skills, communication skills. They learn a little bit about self-esteem, and they learn about relationships, and they learn about how to communicate with other people effectively, so that when they're out on a job, or if they're working with an employer, they have the skills that they're able, they have the skills that they need to effectively become employees at that placement.
Give my hand.
Okay. We just killed Apple.
No?
One thing is that
Rob's gonna get
it's like a chain. Affects everybody.
Geneva Park is definitely one of the most memorable and important pieces of the YMCA Youth Quest program. And the reason why we feel that it's important is because it really takes youth out of their comfort zone. And that's really what Youth Quest is about, is teaching them new skills, allowing them to use some of the new skills that they've learned during the facilitation process and applying them to a different setting. For many of the youth who go to Geneva Park, they've never been outside of the urban center at all. So really taking them outside of their normal atmosphere, I guess, and putting them in a more natural setting gives them that chance to use those teamwork skills and connect with program staff and connect with nature as well in a natural, organic setting. I guess a great benefits with the YMCA Geneva Park outing day is the fact that youth begin to encourage each other, and they become very involved in supporting each other, which is a huge benefit for them, because for many of these youth, they've never had encouragement before. Their parents haven't encouraged them. Their interactions with adults haven't necessarily been encouraging or positive either, and some of their their peer groups may not have been positive influences. So when they're at Geneva Park, suddenly they're in this space where it's all about encouragement, and you can do it, and don't give up, and we're going to try this together, and they're becoming leaders in providing that positive feedback with their peers, so that's great.
The Y had their doors open to me. Didn't matter my past, didn't matter what I did before. It was my future mattered, and I think that's what drew me to it. It was actually an opportunity to have a career and a better life and something more for myself rather than running around with a bunch of hoodlums. I don't even know what I can do, because I always shut the doors on myself. I never gave myself a chance. And I think the main reason that I've started to succeed is the Youth Quest program gave me that chance. They didn't look at me as a hoodlum or as a troublemaker. They looked at me as a young guy that needs some guidance and needs some help and direction in life.
TJ was a participant in this year's Youth Quest and did an amazing job, was really the life of the Youth Quest group. He was really great in engaging and including all of the participants in the Youth Quest groups that we had.
The Y really opened my eyes, and especially with this Youth Quest program. I was working a dead-end job in a factory through a temp agency when I saw the ad in the paper for the Youth Quest program, and I called them up, and from then on in, it's just been a life-changing experience.
His placement ended up being with the YMCA of Simcoe Muskoka, and he worked in the child aquatics department and did an amazing job and really, really enjoyed his placement up there. Once his placement ended, he applied for our youth services summer student position here at YMCA Youth Services and was an excellent candidate, had great skills, and you could really see how much he progressed from when he first started day one Youth Quest to now being an active member of our team here at Youth Services.
Working with children is something I never would have even dreamed of, thought of, or even thought I could do it. But with the tools that the Y's given me and the Youth Quest program, there's no telling what I can do.
If there wasn't a Youth Quest, I feel that youth in our community would be at a disadvantage. Youth Quest does provide some of those life skills that youth are not getting at home. So they are learning more than just employment skills. They're learning more than just the basic foundation of a resume. They're learning more than what protocol is for an interview. They're learning how to engage with each other. They're learning pro-social engagement. They're learning to respect each other. They're learning how to talk with their peers. They're learning about respect. They're learning about conflict resolution. So the effect that Youth Quest has on employment for youth is great, but the effect that the Youth Quest program has on youth socially, emotionally, mentally is huge as well, because they're taking these skills out into the community, and you can see them using them even when they're in the center, and you know they're working through problems. So if they're dropping into the center after their program, you see youth using effective communication when they're talking to each other, and it's no longer, you know, using aggressive language with each other anymore. It's working through a problem with some of the conflict resolution skills that they've learned.
Youth Quest is an incredible program, and I never thought that I would ever make it even this far. I've been accepted to Georgian College, and I'm only looking at the future now. The past is the past, and it might be pretty dark, but the future's very bright. And I owe a lot of that to the Youth Quest program and everything that they've done for me, because they've given me the tools to actually be an adult, because before then I was just a stuck-up kid.
One of my favorite quotes is from Neil Postman, and it says that children and youth are the living messages that we send to a generation that we're not going to see. And I think that Youth Quest is an integral part in shaping that message to make that message positive for our future. Youth are our leaders, and youth are our future. And by having programs like Youth Quest that really encourage youth to fulfill their dreams and to move beyond their barriers and to really engage in the community is important, because youth are our future, and they are going to be the ones that are going to lead future generations. And if we can provide them with the supports and the skills and the opportunities that they need to become those leaders in our community, with the supports that YMCA Youth Services provides, that YMCA of Simcoe Muskoka provides, that our mentors provide, then our future is looking bright. And I think Youth Quest is really a program about hope and opportunity, and if we can continue providing programs like Youth Quest to youth in our community, our future has never looked brighter. So